in the South China Sea has been escalating quite dramatically with the rise of China as the global economic power. Since then, it has become more than just a sovereignty claim, as it has become a contest among the superpowers to display their global political prowess. Or has it? The media plays an important role at amplifying the tension in the South China Sea. Professor David Welch from the University of Waterloo shares the same sentiment during the Asia-Pacific Roundtable in Kuala Lumpur. The Western media tend to push for a certain stereotype about China, which doesn't help to ease the conflict between ASEAN and its East Asian neighbor. Here's the excerpt by Professor David Welch.
First of all, you will almost always see in Western press stories on the South China Sea the statement that China claims almost the entire South China Sea. This is factually incorrect. China claims the islands of the South China Sea, that much is clear. But one of the problems with the South China Sea issue is that China has not unambiguously specified exactly what the nature of its maritime claims are in the South China Sea. But that expression that China claims almost the entire South China Sea gives the impression that China believes that the South China Sea is a Chinese lake and that it's entitled to regulate any and all activity in the South China Sea. It's not officially the Chinese position. They have never officially said that.
Another interesting point that Professor David Welch highlighted in his speech was the tendency for the Western media to demonize China and spout a certain narrative about China that fits into the us against them worldview. He further explained that China's intention may not be as sensational as the media put.
Second problem with media coverage, you will almost always see references to, quote, China's aggressive behavior or China's aggressive land reclamation in the South China Sea, unquote. It's been quick, it's been dramatic, but this word aggressive implies a certain interpretation of Chinese motives. Now, the Chinese could be doing what they're doing in the South China Sea for a variety of reasons, only some of which could count as aggressive. There are defensive reasons, for example, that might be behind the Chinese behavior in the South China Sea. My own reading, and I could be wrong, is that Chinese behavior in the South China Sea is best understood as an attempt to walk a tightrope between domestic political considerations and international environmental challenges.
Since the last decade, ASEAN has experienced tremendous economic and social growth. Nevertheless, media in Southeast Asia are still very much nationalistic, as ASEAN integration is still seen as a top-down project by the ASEAN leaders. Interestingly, media have also become a growing force at covering issues of regional interest. Thus, it is vital for media to disseminate accurate and objective information. So, how can media play a better role at addressing the maritime security tension in the South China Sea? And how can media become the driving force at lifting the South China Sea issue beyond the current international gridlock?